7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Que Bola Podcast. Today we dive deep into the inspiring story of South Florida's radio legend, Supa Cindy. From her humble beginnings as an intern to becoming a beloved personality, Supa Cindy shares her incredible story of resilience, overcoming domestic abuse, and empowering others. Get ready for an authentic conversation filled with laughter, tears, and powerful insights. All right, let's get into it. Listo. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Que Bola Podcast. We are beyond the threshold of 100 episodes and moving into the next realm of this dynasty, 101, the legend, South Florida personality, radio personality, real life personality, all around good person, Supa Cindy. Thank you so much, Supa, for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm like number one the 100.
Yeah, you are 101.
Rightfully so.
That's what's up. That's good. I mean, I'm happy that you have been able to grace us with your time. I know it's a huge honor for me to have you on the podcast.
Oh, I appreciate that.
For real. We've been trying to get this worked out, and
for 3 years now. I'm dead at like 3 years.
Yeah, the time.
I just wasn't ready.
It's all good. The stars align, and when they align,
Right.
it's when it's time. It's time, and right now it's time. So thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. Thank you so much, like I was saying, for letting me know how it's popping off in your world. What's going off in your world right now. And I know the people are really clamoring to know what's been happening with behind the scenes with Supa Cindy. You were in contact with the population of South Florida on a daily basis, right? Through your job at 99 Jams for over 20 years.
24 years.
24 years.
Mm-hmm. Straight out of college, started as an intern.
Yeah.
Crawled my way up.
Yeah. So that's a long time to be in direct contact with the people every day, right? And then you took a step back from 99 Jams after going through your experiences, right? Which we're gonna touch on, and now you're reaching out to the various populations in different ways, and you've been highlighting your previous experiences, right? With domestic abuse, and you've been bringing awareness to that as of lately. What's been your experience now that you don't have that daily communication, or at least the soapbox on a daily basis to be able to express your ideas and things like that? Has that been something that was hard for you to transition into?
It's extremely hard to transition from speaking to people every single day and having to know what's going on every single day, to have content to talk about every single day. But the process that I went through in my healing journey that we'll get into, I couldn't bring in outside things that were going on into what was going on in my personal life, because I could barely handle what was going on in my personal life. After, I escaped my abuser and I left 99 Jams, for other reasons as well. It was just hard, but I miss my listeners so much. And what's so crazy is I could be anywhere, Publix, Dollar Tree, wherever I go, my little secret hiding places. And people are like, I miss you so much. I miss hearing you in the morning. I miss it. People, it's just so much love. My whole career has been based on the love of my community. I love them so much from when I started as an intern. And it shows how much love I put out there, because I get so much back. It's crazy. It just feels good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that it's awesome how you've been able to cultivate that following, right?
Right.
And I attribute that to your transparency, right?
Right.
You're one of these people that was not standoffish to the community,
right?
Not just I'm a celebrity or whatnot.
Never.
Yeah. So I mean, it comes across, right?
If we were in the club and there's a VIP, yes, I'm gonna go say hi to everybody in the VIP. But I'm on the dance floor in front of everybody's face.
That's what's up.
Having fun at the bar, mingling and talking and dancing with everybody.
Yeah, being down to earth, being a real life person.
That's been me since day one.
That's good. So let's talk about that day one, right? Let's talk about your journey. So you started right as an intern.
Right.
Was this a dream of yours, or was it
Not-
something that you got catapulted into?
It was never a dream of mine. I went to Miami-Dade North.
Okay.
I graduated high school from New York, but I went to Miami-Dade North, and when I started the radio and television production part of things, my dream was to be a camera woman specifically for Channel 7 News. I don't know why, but that was my goal in life, to be a news camera woman. I can't even imagine myself doing that right now.
So you wanted to be behind the scenes?
Yeah, I wanted to be behind the scenes. In college, everybody wanted me to be their talent in their school projects. 'Cause, on television and film, radio and television, we're all like doing project after project. And it was so funny, like my teacher would announce, okay, your next project is this. And everyone can't use Cindy as their talent. And everybody like, come on, you got her last project.
Yeah.
We want her. I was like, what is going on? But I never really looked at myself as in front of the camera, because I wanted to be a news person, a camera woman for the news. And so after I graduated Miami-Dade, I wanted to basically work as the camera woman. No channel would hire me. I applied everywhere and no one would hire me. So I started sobbing and panicking because I had no plan B. I just knew I was going to get a job as a camera woman. And then my boy Teddy T, infamous wild man Teddy T, he was working with Albie Silk on 99 Jams.
Oh man, that's all throwback name.
Right.
I haven't heard that in a while.
And so he told me to come by because he and I were going to start a magazine together. So when we went to do the magazine, the drug dealer that was going to front us the money, his friend, whatever, was going to front us money to start a magazine. The guy got arrested. So Teddy called me. He's like, Soup. I wasn't Soup then. My bad. I'm confusing. But Cindy, there is no magazine anymore. That's when I was like, oh my God, what am I going to really do? So he goes, no, come to the station. Let's talk about it. So he's like, maybe you could start writing and producing this show, because Irie, DJ Irie,
shout out DJ
who was the producer of the show, was elevated to now mixer. So he was not going to be producing the show anymore. So they got me to start writing the question of the day and the other game shows and all the stuff that they would do on Albie Silk's show. So I started doing that behind the scenes. I was not on the mic. I wasn't speaking. I was behind the scenes. And then Silk decided to go do radio in Orlando.
Okay.
And when he went to go do that, I was like, I love this. This is what I want to do. Like, I spoke a little bit, but not even like to that extent. And then basically Albie Silk and Trina, coincidentally, were the ones that named me Supa Cindy. It's a long story, but they named me Supa Cindy because I was the do girl of the show, running around like a chicken with no head, picking up prescriptions for Silk's mama and all kinds of other stuff I was doing.
The gopher.
And so they were like, wow, she's Supa Cindy, So that's how I got my name. And so then after he was going to leave to Orlando, I went into the general manager at the time, Mr. Jerry Russian, infamous Super Jerry J, and said, listen, I love this place. I want to start doing it. Please consider me to have some capacity here. So he said, don't worry. In a few months, we're going to hire somebody and we'll call you. Yeah. Months passed by. At the time, I was working at FPL, Florida Power and Light. That was my college job. So I was a customer service rep there, miserable as hell, but I was there. I was paying my bills. And so one day I got a call. They called me to the radio station. That's like when it was in the old building off of 37th Ave in the hood, 826. Okay. We were in the hood. And they brought me in and they were like, open the door of like this little closet that was right there. And they were like, this is Big Lip Bandit. He just moved here and he's going to have the night show. Get to know each other. You're going to be on together. Pushed me in, closed the door. And I was just there looking at Big Lip. Never met him a day in my life. And he was like, so what are you about? And then, Big Lip is. And I'm like, who is this weirdo? And the rest is history. We started our show together. And like
so it was something
said,
that was thrusted upon you then.
Yeah, I had no intentions of being on the radio, at all.
Okay, but from what I'm gathering, right, when you were in college, everybody wanted you as their talent. So that means that you were like, you're already a personality. You had like a big personality.
I'm a vibe. I was always a vibe. Really, I've always been outgoing. I thought back one time, I was like, how am I so confident and outgoing and I don't get stage fright? But one day it dawned on me that when I was in the 4th grade, living in Miami still, in my school talent show at St. James Catholic Church, I was going to St. James in North Miami, and I was in the 4th grade, and there was a talent show, and I decided to sing "The Sun'll Come Out" by Little Orphan Annie. The sun'll come out. And so at home, I was practicing for weeks, bro, and I was like, "The sun'll come out," and all dramatic. The day of the show, I go up on stage, and it's my brother, my sister, my dad, and my mom sitting in the front row.
Okay.
And when I went on stage, all the movements that I was doing were not there. I was like this, "The sun come out." I barely remembered the words to the song.
Stage fright.
Stage fright to infinity.
Yeah.
I look down and I just see my brother, who used to torment me every day of my life, my older brother, laughing at me like, quack, 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 laughing. So then, okay, I get off stage. It's over. Of course, I lose. And on the way driving home, all he did for that drive home and for weeks clowned me for being, when you were at home, you were doing this, and then you were like this, a zombie. I didn't even move my arms. I was like this. My mom has a picture of me when I was on stage, and you just see me here with my 2 moñitos, a velvet green dress, and I was like this. Like that in front of a microphone. And I think that's where my lack of stage fright comes, because I was like, I will never allow someone to clown me. I am not afraid of nothing, especially my brother. And I think that's because I always people always ask me, where do you get your confidence? You don't get stage fright? I'm like, no. And then one day I was like, wait a minute. Maybe it came from that day at St. James when my brother was clowning me. And I genuinely feel that's where I get no stage fright. I don't get afraid to talk in front of 30 people, 100 people, millions of people. I don't care.
That's a crazy skill set, right? Because that's something that a lot of people work on, especially in business, right?
Right.
They don't know how to overcome those type of situations. So early on in life, you pretty much decided that you weren't gonna allow yourself to be caught up in that situation again.
Right. But as an adult, I didn't even make that connection. I just one day thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute, it's probably when my brother was clowning me and I got stage fright. I've never had stage fright again.
That's dope. I mean, that's crazy how those things come together and how it shapes you.
The lessons.
Yeah, young lessons. And then they come into fruition later on in your life. Right. When you really need them. You became this huge radio personality, all based on small little things like that coming up. Was there who was in your corner, right? Pushing you along, inspiring you when you initially went in this career path, right? Because you were like, okay, I want to be behind the scenes holding the camera, right? To completely different in front of the camera, being a personality. Was there somebody who inspired you, or was there somebody who that you saw okay, I could try to inspirational, try to be like them, or they give me hope that I could be this. Not only were you you're a young black woman, right? You have to take that into consideration as well. Right. That's not common, right? So it's that's other. Where did that chispa come from?
I think when I started in radio, I had a mentor, and his name was the late, great Jim Sears. He passed away a few years after I got into radio. And he was he worked records, back in the day. He worked for James Brown. He did this, he did that. And he was Mr. Jerry J's best friend. And he would mentor me and talk to me. When he would see me, getting ready to produce the show and do what I had to do, he would talk to me, and then he and I became friends, and he really talked me through it. He'd be he's one of them old school black men. He's like, baby, you can't be doing this, and da-da-da-da, and taught me how to carry myself and keep my head high. And it wasn't necessarily on the radio, because honestly, the only person I really remember really liking on radio, because I left Miami in about the 6th grade and moved to New York because my parents got divorced. And after high school, I moved back. But growing up in New York, I used to listen to Wendy Williams. And that's all I could really remember on the radio of who and I wouldn't even say admired. I got to love Wendy Williams growing older. Yeah. But in New York, I was just into hip hop. I was into music, riding the subway, cutting class. I was just all over the place, hanging out in Greenwich Village. I was just living my best life in New York. But as far as mentors on the radio, I honestly can't really remember any, no disrespect. I just went into radio being myself. Because you know how you've probably met someone on the radio and they're like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
yeah,
6, 7, 8 on the radio. And then when you meet them, hey, what's going on? And you're like, what the hell? I thought you talked. I've always spoken on the radio, on the mic, as myself. I'm Supa Cindy, but I was never a character like, hey guys, I'm Super Cindy. You know what I mean? I was just me. The way I talk, like when people would say, you sound just like you sound on the radio. I'm like, because it's me talking.
On the radio, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't sound the way they sound in real life. I've always just been myself on the radio, spoke my opinion, and just been me.
I feel like TV personalities really are like that.
Right.
Like you see them on TV when they're telling the news and things like that.
Right.
I've gotten the opportunity to meet a couple anchors, and then off camera, it's like, yo, you don't sound not even remotely close to the way you sound on television. Like two different people, right?
I cannot stand, newscasters have that illness.
Yeah.
That on, when they're reporting, today in Dade County, I'm like, yo, can you just give me the news
Be
regular?
real.
Right. I'm not for that program.
No, 100%. That's dope. That's like, so you didn't take any media training or anything like that?
No, I just studied radio and television. Ask me one thing I learned in radio, I don't remember because I wasn't focusing on the radio part of it. I never imagined, growing up, I was the whiny baby of the family. I'm the youngest in that cluster of my sister, my brother, my cousins. I was the baby. So they all used to tease me. And, I was the whiny, complainy little girl, spoiled brat baby who was always protected by my parents. And so I thought my voice was annoying. You know what I mean? I never even considered radio ever in college. Never.
That's wild. Your background, you're Haitian and Dominican?
Yeah, my dad is Haitian. My mom, rest her soul, she was Dominicana.
Okay.
I don't speak Creole, so I get a lot of
flack from
oh
Haitian
my
community.
God, yes I do, but hablo español.
Yeah. That's what's up. So how did that play a role in you shaping the person that you are? What part of the culture, la cultura, right? What aspects of that do you draw on when you were initially starting and when you were throughout your career?
What's funny is that growing up, we spoke Spanish in my house. My dad, to court my mom and to win my mom over, learned Spanish. He didn't know Spanish when he met my mom. They had a chaperone every time they went out on a date in New York.
Google Translate or something?
There was no Google Translate over there. It was one of their cousins that knew Spanish and Creole, Haitian Creole. Yeah. And when he was courting her, he learned Spanish. That's how my dad got my mom in New York. And so when they moved here to Miami, my dad knew, Spanish at that point. My mom spoke broken English. She was mainly speaking Spanish.
As everybody's mom growing up.
So in the house, we spoke Spanish. Growing up, I spoke Spanish. I really learned that I could recall English when my older brother and sister started going to elementary school and would come home speaking English like that because we spoke Spanish in the house. Yeah. And so we never spoke Creole. I guess in that time when I was growing up, there wasn't really a lot of Haitians around me. I grew up in North Miami, and hard to believe, North Miami is predominantly Haitian. When I grew up in North Miami, we were one of the only black families in that neighborhood, and we did not speak Creole, Only time I would hear Creole is when I would go to my cousin's house, see my aunt and stuff and my dad would see his best friends and stuff. But to say Haitian Creole was part of me growing up and speaking about it. Now, the food we ate, my mom knew how to cook Dominican food and Haitian food, and we ate good every day. My mom cooked 5-course meals every single day, my dad would go to work, my mom was a homemaker. Yeah. And every summer we would go to Santo Domingo. I really had the best childhood, and then my parents got divorced, so I had to adjust from one day to the next. I lived from North Miami, and then one day I lived in Queens, New York, and had to adjust. I went to public school, and I always went to private school.
What was that adjustment like? What was that like coming from bro to what up, son?
I remember, I'll never forget, because I went to a Catholic school, so when you have to go to the bathroom, you're like, excuse me, Sister Margaret Mary, can I go to the bathroom? Because that's how I spoke back. I'm like, hello, And so when I moved to New York, I'm like, okay, my second day in class, and I'm raising my hand, and the teacher's like, yes, how may I help you? And I was like, can I go to the bathroom? And everybody's like, ah, ha, ha. Or I'm like, can I go get some water? And they're like, I heard the kids in the back, water? It's water. I'm like, water? They're like trying to teach me the New York slang. I'm like, water. Like all my A's were like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
It was a very hard adjustment. And I moved to New York in the wintertime, me being a Miami girl. So trust me, about a week into going to school, I fell on a strip of ice where everybody was playing paddleball on the back court. I did so many things. And then 2 weeks after I moved to New York, I was running for school treasurer. Hey. That's how I'm telling you, I have no fear. I'm like, I'm going to run for treasurer. I lost. No one knew who the hell I was, but I just did not care. I was like, you know?
that's a crazy skill to have, to like be fearless in the face of like adversity. Especially when you're coming from like South Florida, you don't know anybody in that new area, and you're in a completely different part of the country where the culture is completely different. Do you feel that helped you, right? Like come back to Miami and be like the fearless person that you were?
I mean, I think when I lived in New York, I was definitely fearless. I started clubbing since I was 14. In New York, they had teenage clubs, and me and my best friend would ride the train, go,
By yourself.
Us two to go to the club, and we would tell each other's parents like, "Oh, they're my friend's older brother's gonna go with us." Me and her would go clubbing and everything by ourselves. I just did not care. I rode the subways by myself. All my friends in New York, you go to your zone school, like in your neighborhood, and then they give you a book if you want to go to a high school outside of your zone. All my friends went to the zone school, Long Island City High. I was the only one that went to Fashion Industries in Manhattan. Didn't know nothing about fashion, didn't care. I just went. And it turned out to be the best because then I was in the city. I was like around the fashion. I was in Greenwich Village when it was trendy hip hop. And it was I just really got, around a lot of different things and saw a different thing. My high school was 10 stories high. It was just dope as hell. Like I loved growing up my teenage high school years in New York. It was like the best.
That's dope. Like that's something that, so that like helped you tap into culture. Right.
Definitely. Like things don't shock me. I've seen it all, like more or less. Big rats climbing the stairs in the train station at 3 a.m. when I'm coming home from the club trying to run home because I missed my curfew way beyond my curfew. Just fun. Like I just had fun. I look back and I'm like, yo, I could have been murdered. I could have been killed by a homeless man. Like
I could have been murdered.
So many things that I did. And my abuela, because I lived with her, she was like, "Te fueron per la boca." I'm like, abuela, no, Brand Nubians is performing. I have to go this way.
Brand Nubians.
Every week's Brand Nubians was performing at the club. It was crazy.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's great how like your upbringing really did shape you into becoming like this massive personality. It's and like your authentic self, right? Because I feel like that's what really drew you to the audiences, and like that's what's drawing you to like the audience in South Florida, is that people like the authenticity. They like people being real people, right? Like you could tell when somebody's being fake, right? You could tell when somebody's not keeping it 100, right? Like and that turns people off, right? That'll easily take you off the radio, right? But you were able to like fashion a way to be yourself and at the same time keep people entertained, right?
Right. I'm like my boy Briscoe. Shouts to Briscoe. Opalaka Goon. Bitch,
real.
I'm me.
Yeah,
bitch,
that's
I'm
a throwback.
I'm
Briscoe,
me.
man.
Like whatever. I'm me. I don't try to impress. I do my best and I don't get offended easily. I'm just whatever.
All right. So you've been around a lot. Speaking of Briscoe and things like that, you've been around a lot of celebrities, especially on 99 Jams, where like a lot of these back in the day, not so much now, but back in the day when you were like really honing in on your craft, celebrities and artists used to have to come into the radio stations to do like interviews, to push their music and things like that. And this is before they had maybe even if they had blown up, but a lot of them will show up before they'd blow up, right? So like, what was that like? That daily interaction with either a celebrity or an up-and-coming celebrity, and knowing how to like get the best out of them, but at the same time like keeping it entertaining.
My whole thing is like the team that I had on the radio show that I was on, me, Big Lip, Benji Brown, and even when it was just me and Big Lip on at nights together, we just had so much fun in real life, argued in real life, shared that with our listeners. So when people would come in, a lot of the artists had already heard about us, like Big Lip being the pain in the butt, always joking and clowning, and then the girl on the show.
Yeah.
And I have always been an interviewer that made people feel safe. Back then, there was no social media. It was like even before MySpace days. Hard to believe, but I always made people feel comfortable. We always laughed in the questions, and I don't know. But that's how I am in real life. Like I love talking to people and finding out about their lives and I'm not, even today, I'm not really one of those people that go viral for getting a butter knife and sticking it in someone's jugular and twisting it. I've gone viral for good moments, happy moments, things that I make like a person I'm interviewing like, what? Or the reaction of something joyous. My goal in my radio career was never to hurt people. And even though I went through a phase of being the skirt with the dirt and reporting terrible gossip stories.
Yeah.
But that was like a phase that I went through because it was my job. But then I started realizing, I'm like, I don't want to gossip about people.
Yeah.
So I started getting a little bit nicer about it. But I'm just genuinely in real life. I like to talk to people. I like to feel people. I like making people happy and making people feel good. And that's how I always I'm like in the studio dancing on an artist's new song and just I don't know. It's just a natural thing that I have a gift. My mom had a gift of making everybody feel good, and I inherited that from my mom.
That's good.
So,
that's dope.
yeah.
That's dope. That's something that's hard to cultivate. Believe me, being in the podcast game myself, it's always hard to. It's something that like you strive for. You have to work at it.
Right.
Right. It's not something that it might come naturally, but even if it comes naturally, you still have to like sharpen that skill. Right. How was there ever a time where like. Or who was an artist that came through and it was like, and you were just like starstruck and you were just like, man, I can't believe like little old me is interviewing said person.
Oh my God. There's because like you just said, everybody used to come through the radio. Everybody. You know, like a few years back, I found a picture of Jay-Z and myself and I'm like, wait, I met Jay-Z. I didn't even remember that I had met Jay-Z.
Live. Are you
I
serious?
have a picture of me and Jay-Z. It was in the old building, which means it was around 2000. And I have no recollection of taking a picture of him. I didn't interview him because I definitely would have remembered that.
Okay.
But he was at the station and I took a picture of him. I don't remember meeting Jay-Z. I have a picture with DMX. And I'm like, wait, we interviewed DMX? We interviewed DMX numerous times.
Yeah.
But when I found my picture with him, I was like, oh my God, I met DMX. It's like I'd be forgetting. And you know what's another thing is like the last few years of my radio career, I was going to the BET Awards. I was the one covering the radio room in the BET Awards where everybody comes through. The thing about the radio room, there's a lot of popular people that come, but there's also people, the thing that used to get under my skin, the people that come through the radio room are the people that they go to the BET radio room, and as soon as you land back from LA of being at the BET Awards, that same week or the week after, they blow up. And so all the stuff that I didn't know about them in the radio room, now I'm like, oh my God, if I would have known this was their hit record or this was what they were gonna do. That happened to me with Lil Baby, the Migos. Like, I interviewed all those people before they blew up. And so even Cardi, I interviewed Cardi at the BET radio room and she hadn't blown up yet.
Yeah.
She, like, because they go make their rounds at the BET Awards and da-da-da-da. And those are the artists that go to the radio room. But one thing I do remember about the radio room, I did it, I think, for like 5 or 6 years, how artists would be like, when they would be like getting up, because they're literally going from table to table to table, radio room, like radio station to radio station. And they would be like, yo, so far, this is my favorite interview. You make me feel good. You know how good that feels that they're being dragged from table to table and they're not really media trained and they're just going to do their thing and you just have fun with them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And have a good time.
No, 100%. You know what? I
So-
experienced that one time when I initially got to interview you at Trina's festival.
Yes.
That I had the same experience that day because there's like a lot of emerging artists that were at that
Right.
festival, and that was like my first foray into that world, and being able to being that is my first foray, my first attempt at it, I was like, I'm gonna just keep it 100 and just try to make everybody happy. Because it's like it's not
Why
even
you
about
trying to
me.
stab their throats?
Yeah, not even that. It's like I'm not here to to try to do anything outside of just like make your day and just maybe get to know a little part of you that's real, right? That's not media like cult. How do you say like when somebody's like they try to hide the real self, right?
Right.
They're like media prepared, so it's
Right.
not like the authentic.
They give the
Exactly.
PR answers.
PR answers. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to like try to circumvent the PR answers and try to get the real answer out of you.
Yeah, like what's up?
What's up? Like you're a regular, you're a human being like I am. I know I go through different things, through different bouts. So without a doubt, you, regardless of how successful you are, you're going through the same things, right? So I just want to connect with you on a real like basis, right? So I feel like I completely understand that. It's different being able to like try to get the best out of people, even though you don't know what's going on in their circumstance.
Right.
So, for example, that's something like that we were talking about. Like, you were not the entire time. I'm not sure about how your story works. While you were working on the radio station, you were still going through a very hard time, right?
Right.
Can you like explain to us what that meant and how you were, first of all, going through it and how you overcame that?
Well, in 2016, I met a man, and he swept me off my feet. And I was head over heels in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really dated anyone that understood how I was Supa Cindy, what comes with dating Supa Cindy, what comes with being Supa Cindy, the obligations you have to fulfill, and just everything that comes with it. And when I first met that person, I felt that he got it, and he was so helpful with everything I did. Within the first year of us dating, he became my manager. He was my boyfriend, my manager, and I was on cloud nine.
Yeah.
I was like, we getting married. I want a baby. Like, I was happy because he just literally swept me off my feet. He was like the kindest, best person I'd ever met in my life. And then he wasn't. and it just flipped like a light switch, like bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
And I ignored all the red flags. I ignored the signs, because when he showed physical anger or verbal anger, I'd be like, what did I do to cause this? What could I do different to not make him upset? Because I know the real him. The real him is the nice person who swept me off my feet, you know? I'm Cinderella. He's my prince. He brought me my glass slipper type thing, you know? But then it got to the realization like, yo, this is not going to change. You know, it's not going to get better. But by the time I realized that I was being controlled, he had all my passwords. He ran everything. Everything was in his hands. And I had given it to him on a platter.
Willingly.
Like, he didn't take it from me. I gave it to him. So I can't, you know. And when I realized that, I was like, I felt like there was no way out between the fear that I had of him because of the abuse, and then just the fear that he instilled in me as far as, hard to believe, like I felt like the mission was to break down my confidence, because I was such a confident person, strong-willed, independent, you know, girl power and everything. And it was like to chisel me down and to convince me that people did not like me, because that was something that he brought to me. Like, I never had issues with people at all. And coincidentally, when I started dating him, it was like every day, someone called me and told me they don't like you, that you were a bitch to them. And I'm like, who? Like, and he would never have names. It was just the manipulation, the gaslighting, just everything that I've learned after the fact. Because when I was in it, I didn't research anything. I didn't research narcissism. I didn't research anything. And it was just like, when I finally escaped from it, 8 years after, I was stuck. I felt stuck. Everyone was like, why didn't you just leave? First of all, I was afraid. And second of all, I felt like I was in the middle of a cobweb and could not leave. Like, even if I wanted to, how do I leave? Like, it just didn't register in my discombobulated brain from everything that had been done to me and said to me. I just felt like I felt trapped. There was no gate around me, but I saw a steel
Yeah.
high wall gate around me. So for all those years, I just floated along and just.
How long did you endure this?
We were together 8 years, so about 7 years.
Wow. So yeah, so it was a long time.
Right.
So you feel that your confidence stopped you from wanting to call yourself a victim?
I never thought about, oh my God, people are gonna think I was too busy in survival mode and coping mode, trying to remain on top of my career and trying to remain alive type thing, mentally and physically, that I never got into like, if I come out, they're gonna call me, because I've always been a person, I don't care what you think of me. What you think of me is none of my business. I really don't care. So I never thought about the part about, oh, I'm a victim. What are they gonna say? Like, I was just trying to figure out, how the fuck can I get out of this? How am I in this? Because I didn't realize I was being controlled and manipulated till I was already eyeballs deep. I was already drowning in the quicksand, and I was like, oh my God, like, God help me type
Within those
thing.
8 years, right? At what point did you realize that?
I mean, I think about 2 to 3 years into it, because every time I left about 3-4 times, but every time we would have an altercation, he would cry and ask me for forgiveness, and I would forgive him because I was like, I know the good person I met is in there. He's going through things. Let me be there for him. And then after about 3-4 years, I was like, I hate this fucker. Like, I am done with this shit. I didn't go to school to be a therapist. I can barely cope with my shit. I'm over it. Like, I was just like over it. Like, just the thought of just everything. And by then I was just like a floating zombie. Just go with the flow, Cindy. And no one knew. Not my closest friends, not my family, not my coworkers. Nobody knew.
Wow, that's crazy. You kept it from everybody.
No one knew. They might have, like, my bestest friends might have known, like, he's so damn, like, he always tries to, when you're happy, he always tries to do something to take away your joy. Mm-hmm. Those things that he would do. And he couldn't hide it from my closest people. But like, to the average person, my coworkers and everybody thought he was the greatest guy, taking my content, going with me every year to the BET Awards, filming, and just always with me. Yeah. Always.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm glad you were able to overcome that experience. And you're able to share it now and empower other people who are currently going through that experience. What's your like recommendation? What is it that people who are going through that, what do you want them to take away from your story?
Okay, well, first, the reason why I came out with my story is because people have a misconception of what a victim or survivor of domestic abuse, intimate partner abuse looks like. You know what I mean? There's so many types of abuse: financial abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. Just, there's so many factors into the types of abuse. And my whole thing is, I wanted to change what people think of as abuse, because there are so many people that have high positions in a corporate building, work for the county, work in the domestic violence department of the county, and are being abused. It has no face. Everyone knows someone who is being abused. They just don't know that person's being abused. But you know someone who is being abused.
That's crazy.
And that's the crazy part of it. Since I've come out with my story, how many people have stopped me? Oh, I escaped 3 years ago, 10 years ago. It's like so many people, even guys have come up to me, Soup, I had a boyfriend. Some had a partner. Yeah. But they be like, yo, my girlfriend was abusive to me. And I was like, would you tell your story? Hell no. Like, guys do not want to talk about it. So, people on my Instagram page will be like, yeah, but girls are abusive too. Well, find me a guy who will talk about it, because I want to get that word out, but they're not willing to talk. So there's nothing I can do. I have a vagina. Yeah. I'm a woman. I can only speak from my point of view of what I went through, 100%. But I just want the people that are actually living it now, trying to survive and on survival mode. I'm not here telling anybody, girl, guy, you better get out, you better leave. No, because every situation is different. It took me 8 years to find a window and a mistake that my abuser did that let me leap out the window and escape. but you have to assess your own situation and your own thing yourself. No one could tell you when to leave. Even your closest people in your family, your friends, if they tell you to leave, you have to feel safe enough. And the day you say, you know what, that is it. Like the day I reached my limit and I was like, yeah, coño, I'm done. I don't give a fuck if I die escaping. I'm leaving. And that's what I did. I just said, I do not care. I'm out.
That's crazy.
And that was it.
So the whole entire time you were suffering in silence.
Suffering in silence.
That's difficult, right? How do you like empower yourself if you're suffering in silence and you don't have that that respaldo, right? You don't have that backing.
Right.
How do you
support system?
That support
right?
system, because
right.
you're not allowing anybody
right.
in to support you.
Right.
How does that come to the surface? What is it that gets you going and driving? How do you say, okay, enough is enough. I need to empower myself to get out of this situation?
I think the way I coped being in survival mode for all those years, I kind of just separated myself from my brain. And it may sound weird. I just did not think about it. And when it hit the fan, I would cry when I needed to cry and just try to hide from him and act like I wasn't home. I honestly felt I was being tracked in every way. He had all my passwords. There was no escaping him, but some days he was sick of me too. So he would go away for a few days. And I'm like, good, thank God, don't call me. Just leave me alone. But it was just, I think the only way I coped it and survived it is because I just put Supa Cindy over here and then Cindy Doucette over here. I just tried to, I honestly don't even know how to answer that question. I don't know how I made it. I have memory loss over the PTSD that I've suffered. I've been diagnosed with PTSD and trauma over everything that happened to me. And the healing process this last year has been straight hell. But this all hit the fan October 2023. And I think that I let myself heal. I was in therapy, trying to be patient with myself and forgiving myself for allowing all that to happen. But at the same time, it's now that I look back, I'm so proud of myself that I am smiling again and going dancing with my friends. Shouts to Rubia, Sophia, aka Nikki. I just want to live life again. I was really dead inside and brain dead because I couldn't even think. I couldn't even put a sentence together.
Yeah.
It was the end of my radio career, I was just floating. And that's why I just said, I'm not happy in this building. I'm not happy in my personal life. I've escaped this demon. So I'm not allowing myself to be unhappy anymore. Anything that I don't feel like doing, guess what? I'm not doing it. Anything that makes me unhappy, I'm not dealing with it. I will not be around you. You will not have access to me. Everyone had access to me.
Yeah.
He gave everybody access to me. No, I changed my iCloud, my phone number. And even sometimes people get my phone number and they call me. I might talk to them because I don't know who it is and I'll answer, but I don't answer anymore. I don't deal with anything I don't want to deal with, and I don't have to explain shit.
That's true.
I earned that. I don't care. My sanity and my peace are what's important to me. My joy and my happiness, I will never allow someone to take it away from me. And I just trust God so much. God has literally lifted me up. I have not been walking on the floor. He has just been gliding me through this past year and a half.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I'm here and how I've been unemployed for over a year. And I've never been late. I'm good. I have my car, my family. I'm never hungry. I'm
that's
God,
good.
This is God's doing. And that's
great.
it.
I'm glad to hear. I'm happy for those blessings in your life. It's crazy, that whole experience that you went through. I'm sorry you went through that, you know. But I'm so happy that you're on the other side of it now, and it seems like you're using that experience right now to empower other people, and you're using it as a philanthropic cause, right? To help other people. Do you feel that that's part of your therapy?
Definitely. I remember the first time I spoke out on it, I was like once I got on the podium and I had to say it out loud, because I had never really said it out loud in front of a group, I was like devastated. And I want to just send the biggest hug to my sister, Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mom. She came up, and I didn't even know who was behind me when I was on the podium, and just squeezed my shoulders and said, "You're okay, I got you." Yeah. And when she said that, I looked back and it was her. It just, everything she's gone through, and she's here supporting me. And that was very difficult to speak out. But now I definitely feel like, what is the purpose of this happening to me? I have such a big voice and so many people love me. I have to save as many lives as I can. This whole experience is not about my abuser. I ain't trying to put him on black. I don't care. When I tell you I never think about him, I haven't spoken his name since the day I left, except when I was, I don't want to say that because I don't want to trigger him. Forget it. But I am just genuinely trying to help as many women and men that are suffering in silence to know there is hope. There is a way out. There is but do it in your own time. When you're ready to leap. And just use the resources that are available. You get what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
So, yeah, I mean, I just can't tell someone to leave. No, everything you have to assess your situation, because I'm not trying to get nobody murdered and nobody, you know what I mean? But that, I think, has been the most difficult thing. And within those 7 years, my mom and my abuela passed away the same week. Yeah. So it was like I lost my two queens. Then I was going through that.
Sheesh.
It's been a rough
3 years.
Yeah, like crazy.
That's tough.
Crazy.
That's tough. Wow. So like, all right, so the experience has shaped you. You've come out of it like as a stronger person. You're using it to help other people, which is seriously, like, I applaud that, right? A lot of people would just like
stay silent and let it go away.
Stay silent and let it go away, right? Because that's the easiest way, right?
Right.
Like
easy
not
way
have
out.
to try not to even face it that you went through that, and just like you deal with therapy in private, but you're using it to empower other people, which is super, commendable.
Right.
Now that you're on the other side of that, what do you see like your future? What is the Supa Cindy of the current and future? What is that trajectory? What's that journey, right? What do you foresee? What is it that you're trying to get to? Are you trying to go back on the radio? Or are you trying to, start a podcast? Because like your conversations and culture is how you've been able to process your passions, right? So like, what is it that you're working on right now that I'm sure your passion is still alive. What is that?
Well, I'm doing numerous things. Currently, I really have no desire to get back on radio. I feel like I've proven myself in that lane.
Okay.
I've won awards, all kinds of stuff being in radio, and I have nothing else to prove in that lane.
By the way, congratulations. I saw you got invited to the White House.
Oh, yeah.
That was sick.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, I'm in the Library of Congress in a Women in Radio exhibit.
Wow.
So, yeah, I live there forever unless he removes us. But please don't remove me from the Library of Congress.
That's crazy.
I worked so hard to get there, but
yeah, you definitely prove yourself in that lane.
Yeah, so right now I'm working with a few municipalities in the month of October, doing a lot of things for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, going to a lot of events, doing a lot of walks, telling my story to help as many survivors and people that are actually living through it right now.
In the trenches.
I think the whole thing is like thinking about the people that are still suffering in it in silence is what breaks my heart. And I can't even imagine having a child with my abuser going through that. If I had children involved, and there's so many women being abused with children involved.
That's crazy.
It just kills me. But besides being an advocate for domestic violence, I have so many other things that I want to do. And I'm just being forgiving to myself and working through it and taking things day by day. Mm-hmm. And honestly, November is my birthday.
Hey.
I'm planning a whole weekend of like 4 or 5 events. Follow me on my IG and you'll find out. But I just want to celebrate life, have fun. I'm just so grateful to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not have to be alive right now. God chose me to be alive and speak my truth of what happened to me. I'm just so full of gratitude, like for my family and my close friends that stood by my side and weren't judgmental through it. I think anyone who knows someone who's being currently abused or trying to get out of it, be patient with them. Be kind, because you can't explain why you're still there if you are still there. And when you leave, why you just want to go under your covers and stay under your covers. Like, I was literally shut down and didn't talk to anybody for about a full year. And I'm still in my healing process. Yeah, I'm on top of the bridge right now, but I still got a ways to go. I'm still healing. Things still trigger me. Memories still pop up in my brain while I'm sleeping. Things I pushed to the back of my brain to cope pop back in my brain. And I'm like, yo, I totally forgot that happened to me.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of things that I'm working on, and I'm really excited about it. I even have a project that I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I'll just say I'm working on building housing in other countries.
Okay.
I'm with a company that is building housing. I just recently came back from Ghana.
Wow.
With that company, and it's such an exciting. I can't wait till I can talk about it. But it's an amazing project that's building housing for people that want to relocate and start their lives over, and who are getting kicked out and want to start their lives over. So I'm working with that, and that's another passion of mine. And just being happy, bro. I just want to be happy.
That's dope. You know, like, you're definitely a beacon of culture in South Florida.
Thank you.
And now with the experiences that you've been through, and being able to shine a light through those experiences, it's something that I feel that endear you to a whole nother audience, right? Of people who are like, you're like, they know you as like this happy-go-lucky radio personality, but also being able to be transparent and showing everybody that there's difficulties and you could overcome those difficulties. That's like another beacon of hope. You know what I'm saying? You're like legit another beacon of hope out here in the community, which we're currently in the times where we need a lot of hope. You know, I'm on the hope train, trying to everything's looking doom and gloom. You just gotta stay
optimistic.
Gotta stay
optimistic.
optimistic.
Stay faithed up, prayed up, and be optimistic.
Legit.
Because the minute the devil feels like a door is open with your doubt and your fears, he's gonna jump on them fears and make you doubt everything that you know is a lie.
Yeah, I'm glad that your confidence is still alive and kicking. It's for real.
I'm working on it, because I have many a days that I'm like, it'll never work. I'm more on my pity party. But then I'm like, wait a minute, girl, shut up.
Shut up.
Get your ass up, girl. Shut up. I really try to treat things not like stop signs, but as speed bumps, and drive over them. No more speed bumps. That's the way I move. And that's my new movement. And I just really, like I said, you know, and I wanted to say one more thing before we keep going, that when I was on the radio, that was my happy place. You know what I'm saying? When I was going through everything I was going through in my personal life at home, the radio did make me laugh. And that's why, you know, I don't want people to think that I was on the radio being fake or anything by laughing and everything. That was my escape. That was my happy place. And when it no longer was my escape or happy place, I resigned. And the rumor that I got fired, I did not get fired. I left. I fired them.
Hey.
Toot toot.
Two snaps and around the world.
Right. Bye. I left them.
That's
okay.
good. That's
so
good.
They did not throw me in the garbage. I threw them in the garbage.
So so now that you've been through this, right? You've established yourself. You have a whole name, a personality. What would you go back, right? Mm-hmm. Straight out of high school, going into Miami-Dade. What would be something that you would tell young Cindy to help that person along their career?
Get organized. I always call myself like a fart in the wind. Like, I'm all over the place. I'm a loquita. I'm like, okay, a butterfly. Ooh, look. Like
ADHD.
Right. And I'm not organized. Like, I have friends that are so organized. And I'm like, how did you get like that? Like, I just started using my calendar on my phone. I would be writing things down on 30 different notebooks and then be like, wait, do I have an appointment today? Like, I was very unorganized, and I didn't like follow through with a lot of things. Like I would lose interest quickly. If there was like a little obstacle to make something happen, I'm like, I'll do something else. Like I was not like committed to things. I would have so built my brand on the side way sooner than when I started doing that. You know what I mean? Like I had my brand, I had my Supa Cindy brand, but I should have started building it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't think about the future. I was thinking about right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like enjoying the time while you're in the present.
Right.
So organization was key. Something that you feel like.
I was so unorganized.
Yeah.
I'm still unorganized, but I'm getting so much better.
And that's for like a career in general, but in radio and broadcast, what would be a major key that you would, somebody who wants to come up and be the new Supa Cindy, right? Or something along those lines. What's something that you would, a major key that you would hand them to get to that position where you've been able to conquer?
I would definitely say be yourself. I know people say be you. No, seriously. Don't go sounding like somebody else. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to remix everything that you see. Remix it to your own taste and your own you. And I would also say, like, I just got a brain fart and forgot what I was going to say. That's me, okay? But I was going to definitely be like, just do things your way. Do things you. Don't get discouraged. And just stay focused on what, you have to do.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something that was so good, and I can't remember what it was.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
I'll call you later tonight. Can you insert
Can you insert
my audio?
This is what I meant to say.
Right. What was I going to say?
You good though. I mean, that's a major key, like to be authentic. And it's hard, to be honest with you, it's hard to be authentic when you're starting off because you don't know what your voice is, right? I started this podcast roughly almost 6 years ago, going on 7 years. When I started the podcast, I didn't know. I started it because I just love creatives and I love people from South Florida.
Right.
Really, I love entrepreneurs and creatives. And it was more like to energize myself because I'm a creative entrepreneur.
Right.
So I'm just like, you know what? I want to talk to other creative entrepreneurs and get that energy from them and understand where they're coming from. And somehow that's going to help me become me, right? But I didn't know how to talk authentically, genuinely as myself. But it took a little time. But then I realized, like, this is how I talk, right? This is who I am in real life.
Right.
I'm going to bring that to the podcast. I'm just going to be this person on the podcast because I don't want to be two different people.
Right. And then how can you keep up?
How can you keep up?
You're not going to be able to keep up.
It's hard to be a persona, right?
Right.
If you're not yourself.
Right.
It's difficult. But it
definitely,
it's something that you have to work on to be genuinely yourself and be comfortable in your own skin.
Right. And if you make mistakes and you don't say the right thing or don't, whatever, it's okay. We are not robots.
Facts.
We are humans.
Yeah.
And if anyone walking around saying they don't make mistakes, they didn't say something that was offensive or whatever, we're not trying to be offensive, but I'm just saying, like, be forgiving and be like, you know what? Next time I'll do better.
Yeah.
And you have to have hope that you'll do better and be better. We're all, you know what I'm saying? I never imagined when I was 20 years old that I would still be trying to figure things out at the age I am.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, like we thought we'd have it all together at that age. We doing this. I'm going to retire and I'm not doing nothing else. It's like I pivoted my whole entire life, gutted everything out, and I'm pivoting now. And not that to say I'm letting go of the Supa Cindy brand, but I'm reinventing. I want advocacy to be part of it, domestic violence advocacy to be part of my brand. I want joy to be part of my brand. I want, the same things that people know me for, being an MC, a media personality, making people laugh, doing content, hosting things, traveling, and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
100%. And I've also started working out.
Okay.
I've lost a lot of weight through the last few months.
Shout out to you.
Thank you so much. And that has helped me so much too. Like, I wish I would have started working out before. You
know what? That's a major key. I'll tell you one thing. When I'm going through it, I go through it, I'm a small business owner and things like that. And it's sometimes you're going through it. And when you just like down on the dumps, down on yourself, I always go to the gym. I'm like, you know what? Whatever is ever, I gotta like go push this out, push
Sweat it
as
out.
many
Right.
heavy weights as possible.
Right, how many
bro.
reps? Right.
As many reps. I need to leave this shit at the gym. I cannot
Right.
I definitely can't take this negative energy home and like let it like fester.
And then you start overthinking and make it worse.
And then you take it out on your loved ones and on your
Right.
people.
And then most of the time we worry about things that never even happen.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Big old facts.
That don't exist, don't happen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. So like throughout your whole entire career in South Florida, what's been a major like something that was super memorable to you that you had like a dope experience or something that left a mark and imprint on you?
I think winning 4 different proclamations from different municipalities was amazing. Being honored at Miami-Dade, that was amazing. Being voted the 2021 best radio personality in the Miami New Times. That was like, because for years, I'm like, how do people get this? Like, I'm so ignored. Nobody thinks about me. And then I got it one year. And I was like, wow, that was super dope. Like, there's been so many highlights. Being able to help people. Like, you know, seeing a news story on the news, and I'd be like, I got to find those people and reach out to them.
Yeah.
Just being able to help. Like, from 2001, when I became Supa Cindy, I started my nonprofit Super Friends. I started helping people from the beginning. My community was the battery in my back, what started me to just be out in the streets. If we were at the Martin Luther King parade in Liberty City on a float, I'm jumping off the float and walking alongside the crowd and hugging people. I just love my people and my community so much. Yeah. And I love my Haitians. I love my Latinos. I love my Black people. I just love everyone who's heard my voice before. And I just feel so good that, what's crazy, a story real quick. When I resigned from 99 Jams, a press release went out all across the country, right?
Okay.
And every blog that it got posted on, people were commenting. And someone brought it to my attention because I wasn't, at that point, I was like, oh my God, did I just resign from my job? Mm-hmm. My biweekly paycheck? What am I going to do? I panicked for a second, right? And someone brought it to my attention, like, Soup, you saw your thing is on a bunch of blogs, right? And I was like, oh yeah, they told me I haven't really been online like that. And they were like, I went through all those blogs, not one negative comment.
That's crazy.
And I'm talking about like 5-6 blogs, and each one has like 100 comments. People like, nobody had something negative to say.
That's a big deal, dude.
In these times,
especially in these times, where everybody's just trolling, trying to get the most. That's a big testament to your person.
And I just remembered what I was gonna say.
What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say that in life, right? Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's cliche.
Golden rule.
But like treat the janitor like the president. Like, you don't know who is gonna get you your next gig. Speak your name to refer you to somebody. Like, that's why I treat everybody with kindness. Like, I'm not walking around I don't want to down somebody by saying this, but if someone's with a mop cleaning, like, why would I be mean to them? And then if someone's in a suit, hi, no, I'm treating everybody the same way. You know what I mean? And that's how I've always moved. I make people feel good. When I make people feel good, that makes me feel good. And that's how I move. That's how I've always been a Supa Cindy, my real Cindy Doucette.
I feel like this country needs a lot more of that, of kindness.
Right. It's so
I feel
disgusting.
like kindness has fallen off to the wayside.
Right.
And it's just like, it's perspective. It's just put yourself in other people's shoes.
Right.
Like this weekend, I'm a huge UN fan, as you can tell. I was in Tallahassee this weekend watching Miami play Florida State, which we whooped that ass. But even in Tallahassee, like, they call it Trailer Hassy, but it's like one of those situations where like you could be like, yo, you see a lot of people going through it, right? You don't see that much here in South Florida because everybody's like aparentando, right. But over there is like you could thoroughly see, right?
People are hurting and struggling.
People are hurting and struggling. So I'm always just like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna try to be as nice to you as possible, regardless of what, because any day, God willing, never happens to me, but any day something like that could happen to you. You could be that person,
Right?
legit. So like
right.
you need to
lose everything.
You could lose everything
And have one pair of panties.
Yes, legit.
Right.
And you just gotta be kind, bro. It's hard. It's hard. I know it's hard, especially when people are being assholes to you.
Right.
But there's you're not gonna win anything. You're not gonna by
arguing back and clap backing and
and all
I just be smiling like, okay, no problem, bitch. I'm not gonna let you get too much over me, but at the same time, I'm not arguing back and forth with nobody. And that's what they try to do, is make you argue back and forth. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
I feel like they suck your energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And when those situations happen, I remove myself as quickly as I can.
That's something that I've always considered myself as a human energy battery, right? And I know that like I have a limited amount of energy.
Right.
Like I feel it. I feel it when somebody drains you. Like when somebody will drain you, you come out of that situation, you're like, bro, I just need to go
exhausted.
Exhausted. I need to go relax or something. It's because they drained you of your energy, legit. So you just gotta protect your energy. And at the same time, like not give in to that negativity.
Right.
Negativity is a black hole, bro.
Right.
Legit.
And it will suck you in. And your circle should be uplifting you. When your circle is dragging you down and they're anchors, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And you need to set your boundaries with your circle, with your family.
Legit.
Because we're not in times like, do you see how it's October? Do you see how fast the days are going?
Yeah.
It's already going to be 2026. Yeah. Where did 2025 go?
Flies.
So we're here wasting time into arguing back and forth with someone. What is the purpose of that? What's coming out of that?
There really is nothing. You know,
I refuse.
Speaking of circles, I want to shout out Noel Perez, you know, for helping us put
Noel,
this. He's like
my sweetie honey.
Legit, like he's somebody who's been in my corner and has always been uplifting. It's like I try to find people like that,
right?
You know,
supportive, not expecting nothing in return,
no alternative, like ulterior motive,
right?
Like trying to it's like this. It's hard. Let me be honest with you.
Right.
It's hard to find those people.
Oh, they honestly don't exist.
Yeah, it's like hard, few and far between, right?
Right.
But you do have to find your one or two people who you're like, you know, that's in the trenches with you,
right?
And want to see you see you win, right?
Right.
It's crazy how that works. You know, it's crazy how like
sometimes you believe people that you think are like that, and then they come back and it's a totally different story. That happened to me too. But I have like a good 3 people in my life, 4 people that are not family. Like a good 3-4 people that.
Bro, you have 3 or 4 people doing that?
No,
you're
3.
Blessed.
No, 3.
3 people. That's you're blessed.
My inner circle is 3 people.
Legit. That's a blessing. Massive blessing. Because I know a lot of people don't even have one person like that in their corner who need it. That's a massive blessing. Yeah, you got and if you find those people, cherish them, yo.
Oh, legit. All day. Like, and you know one thing too I want to say, like, I have started telling people I love you.
Yes.
And like a lot of people don't know how to respond to that or act like that because it's not their norm.
Especially with dudes.
Right, right. But I definitely like tell my people, whether it be while we're texting each other or, you know, we're face to face, like love you, like genuinely love you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't hear that. And they might not even notice that they don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? And it takes people off guard. I grew up, my Haitian dad, I don't remember my dad telling me he loved me. Guess what? As an adult, maybe about a good 10 years ago, I have my dad, every time I say, love you, papi, love you, oh, I love, because my dad calls me Chuchi. I love you too, Chuchi. Like me and my dad, and now my dad says it to me first without me having to say it to him. It's like we make it the norm because you don't know when life is over. You don't know when you're going to lose people. Young, old, middle age, it doesn't matter. Like, we got to start telling the people that are around us that you love them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah. I started doing that with my boys. And it really takes this.
Right, they're like, ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Tú te estás muriendo? What's happening? Are you on your deathbed? What's going on?
Lying. You not lying. Like,
like, what happened? Who did what?
I've been, like, I'm getting to an age where, like, I've experienced, loss in my life.
Right.
And, my father, rest in peace, passed away like 2 years ago. That really, like, that put me through it, right?
Right.
So
grieving is,
yeah, man. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a whole thing. So I've been big on that. I've been telling my boys that I've known for years that we would never say that to each other. Like, never be like, yo, I love you, bro. Bro, I'm telling my boys, like, yo, I love you, dog. Like,
right.
And some of them are just like,
right.
They just freeze up and shit.
Right.
But whatever, like, I just need you to know that you mean something to me, right? You somebody who in my life, like, I'm blessed for you to be in my life, right? And I guess it does take for you to go through situations where you lose people, for you to remember, life is, you don't take it for granted, bro. Because you never know when you're gone, or like your best friend could be gone, or like your parent or whatever. Just like, yo, just tell them you love them, and just like, you know what? Keep it popping, but just be like, yo, you mean something to me.
Right.
That's what's up. Well, Cindy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Again, shouts to Noel. Shouts to my girl, Nikki Montana, and all my favorite people in the world.
That's what's up. And if people wanted to follow your journey,
yes,
where can they follow you? Where are you the most active? Where are you the most, like, sociable?
I'm mostly on Instagram, and it's Supa, Supacindy. Supa Cindy. Everything is Supa Cindy, but I'm mostly on Instagram on a daily basis. Okay.
And do you have a domestic violence, like, nonprofit that you really fucks with, that you would like to shout out?
I want to shout out Pain to Purpose. That's a very good organization. And I was just with them today at the University of Miami. We were screening a movie called The Last Drop. And I can't wait. The director of that is a male, and he's a survivor. Wow. He's the producer of it, I should say, and director. And I think he was saying today that he got a deal from Amazon Prime.
Hey.
So I already told him, when that movie comes out on Amazon Prime, I want to do like a viewing party. Yeah. He lives in Chicago, but we got to make it. This movie is just so amazing. So I just want people to have patience if you know someone who's going through it. And not be so judgmental, not be so hard, not be so like saying they're not I don't believe you and this and that. Like, you don't know what people are going through. You know what I mean? So just be kind, and that's where you can follow me. Everything Supa Cindy on everything. Facebook, everything.
Dope. And you're
TikTok,
open.
Twitter.
You're open to do gigs like MCing and things like that?
Oh, yes, that's what I do. I guess I didn't mention it because that's my norm.
Yeah.
When I was saying, what do I do now? Yeah, I host a lot of things. I MC, I host, I help put events together.
Okay.
I consult.
That's dope.
I do some of everything. I've built so many relationships the last 24 years that, I can call a lot of people, and a lot of people feel good hearing my voice. And that's a blessing in itself, too.
I'm happy that I got to hear your voice for this last hour, and like everything you've been able to share and being honest and transparent. It really means a lot to me, right? That you're using your journey, you're using your experiences to better people's lives, yo. Like, legit, that's what you're doing, and that's like super commendable, dude. Like 100%. I'm like, no bullshit. That is super commendable. I know that like your blessings are on the way, 100%.
I appreciate that so much.
For real. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And can I say this? I haven't said it yet. Que Bola.
Que Bola.
Que Bola.
Thank you so much for everybody listening to this episode of the Que Bola Podcast.
Woo, woo.
I highly appreciate you. And like I say, always, if you like it, share it with your friends.
Yes.
And if you hate it, share it with your enemies. But just share this motherfucker.
What do you think, say?
Hasta la próxima. We out. Que te crezca. I love you. Peace.
Bueno, ¿qué se va a crecer?
Whatever.
Que
whatever
se
you whatever you want, que te crezca.
Why am I thinking nasty? Let me stop.
Hey. Whatever you want growth in, I hope it grows.
Yes.
Hasta
I
la
hope
próxima.
so too.
Later, we out. Peace. Thank you for tuning into this powerful episode of the Que Bola Podcast. I hope Supa Cindy's story inspired you to find your own voice and strength, all right? Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, Share this episode with somebody who needs to hear it. And like I say, if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Just share it. Until next time, stay authentic. Let's keep shining. And yeah, man, let's show some love out here in this community. Que te crezca. Love y'all. Peace.